And of course, starting things off again with pin trading. Picked up 3 amazing pins this time. A really cool Maleficent pin, the last of the cool character pins I needed, and an amazing Robin Hood pin. That was great. So now into Harambe, East Africa. And oh boy, the parks are going to be crowded. By the time we had arrived at the park, none of us had yet eaten any food for the day, so it was off to Harambe Market, where Sean tried his first ever corn dog, and he loved it. Of course, a thumbs up. So after we were done with lunch, it was back to Pandora, the world of Avatar, because we all had fast passes for Flight of Passage, which is one of Disney's best new attractions. It is so much fun. I highly recommend checking it out. And the interactive queue line is amazing as well. That is something Disney has been doing a lot of recently, interactive queue lines, which is kind of nice. It does make the time pass while you are actually waiting to get on the attraction. And here, they're actually linking you up with your avatar. It's pretty amazing. Again, the theming in Animal Kingdom is great, and the theming on all the rides is great as well. And then this is what you actually get on and ride during the attraction. This is pretty cool. It actually feels like you're riding a Banshee. It's really amazing. And then, yeah, you are riding through Pandora on the back of a Banshee. It is so much fun. It's like Star Tours meets Soarin'. If you have any idea what those attractions are, you can get an idea of how amazing of an attraction this is. It is so much fun. So afterwards, there is something I had to get my hands on, and that is a Pandora World of Avatar pin. I've been meaning to pick one of those up. But okay, it was time to finally leave Pandora for the last time this trip, and I just had to walk around for a little bit more and just take it all in. Amazing. So then something we had yet to do this trip was actually take the safari ride, which is always a blast. I love it. But again, something we just had yet to do, so it was time to finally get on the bus and take the safari, and this was great. Seeing hippos and giraffes and rhinos. This was by far one of our best ever safari rides. Sometimes you don't get lucky and you don't see a lot of animals, but look at that. We actually saw, again, a rhino there and an elephant. It was a really, really great safari where we saw a ton of animals. And afterwards, I had to go say hello to my favorite Mickey in any of the parks. I love it. So our last attraction for this park was going to be Dinosaur, but unfortunately, it had broken down and Donald was not happy. He was actually putting the blame on this kid right here, and oh my gosh, are they actually fighting? What is going on? Oh, okay, they made up. Everything is good again. All right, so unfortunately, again, Dinosaur was down, so we did not get on it one last time, which is a shame because it is my wife's favorite attraction and my son can go on it as well. So instead, it was Tough to Be a Bug. That is the attraction we decided to last do here at the Animal Kingdom. Oh, look at that Tree of Life. I really do love this one. It is a 3D show with actual animatronics involved as well. There's Hopper and Flick. That is awesome. My wife is not the biggest fan of this attraction, and this is why. She does not like spiders, and during the show, you get attacked. I don't mind it, I love it, but my wife, not so much. So at this point, like I said, it was time to leave the Animal Kingdom, and we were heading back over to the Magic Kingdom. This time, we decided to hop on the ferry and take that over. What a beautiful day, a fantastic way to spend our last day here in Walt Disney World. And as soon as I hit the park, I had to go into the Main Street Emporium because there was something I really wanted to get my hands on that I had yet to pick up this whole trip, and that was my 2018 pin. And this is the one I decided to go with. However, I also had to grab the new annual pass holder pin, as this is my first year as a pass holder. Now, if you thought the Aladdin, Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast VHS-style notebooks were amazing, oh, there are now more. The Little Mermaid, Dumbo, Peter Pan, and Lady and the Tramp. I cannot believe they have made more of these. They are fantastic, but again, what would I do with them? So it was on to Mickey's PhilharMagic, and this is something I highly recommend checking out. It's another Disney 4D show, and by 4D, I mean that you're watching a 3D movie, but there's elements such as wind, water, smell, etc. mixed in with the movie. It is great, but what makes this so interesting is the history. This was Disney's first ever completely CGI animated film, and the first time these characters were ever done in 3D. Meaning that before this, Mickey was always 2D, Donald was always 2D. They had to figure out, how do we make these characters look 3D for the first time ever? So some amazing history and just a really, really good show you should definitely see. And I love this Donald animatronic at the end. Love that they mix this kind of stuff in with the movie. So cool. And again, something you have to check out if you're in the Magic Kingdom. So then it was on to Enchanted Tales with Belle, and this is interesting. It's sort of an attraction, but also kind of a meet and greet, if you will. Basically, you're hearing the entire story of Beauty and the Beast, but you're kind of doing it within a queue line, but at the same time, not really. Kind of hard to explain, but this is really neat to see in person. This mirror actually expanding and then opening up into a doorway. The first time I ever saw this in person, I was pretty blown away that Disney could pull off something like this. It's really neat and definitely something to check out. And then into the next room where you actually interact with the wardrobe. This is really neat. And they actually give out props for people to use, mostly the kids. And then finally, you actually meet Belle and Lumiere, which is really, really neat. The Lumiere animatronic is just fantastic. And all the kids actually dance around with props and whatnot. It's pretty cool. Definitely something interesting for kids to do. There's Sean right there. He was a salt shaker, which was kind of weird. He had no idea what was going on. And then you actually do get to meet Belle, and they take your picture and whatnot, and you can then purchase the picture afterwards, or if you're a pass holder like we are, you just get the picture. And for participating, you also get a bookmark, which Sean was very happy to show off. But then Sean wanted to go on the teacups, and Daddy sat this one out, as the thought of spinning in circles just made me want to vomit. However, there is one circle I am always more than happy to spin on, and that is the Carousel of Progress. I think by now we all know that my main draw to Walt Disney World is not necessarily the thrill rides, although I do love those, but I am a sucker for the classics. And this here is indeed a classic. A stage show all with animatronics that takes you through the last decade, showing off the progress of technology. Now, I know I'm geeking out on every one of you right now, but this is something you have to see, a must-do in the Magic Kingdom. And then Sean found yet another dance party, and whoa, look at those break-dancing moves. He was having so much fun. We were here for about an hour. So to work off our dancing sweat, it was time for a Dole Whip, which I had yet to get this entire trip, so the trip is now official. So then on to Pirates of the Caribbean, my wife's favorite attraction here in the Magic Kingdom. And you can keep your interactive queue lines. I think this attraction has one of the best queue lines ever. And here we go again with some changes. Again, I don't mind changes with the attractions here in the parks. When they added Johnny Depp, I was okay with that. And now that they've changed the redhead scene, I'm okay with that as well. I still think it's a fantastic attraction. No problems here. And then to finish things up, it was the Haunted Mansion, because I always start out the trip with the Haunted Mansion, and I always end the trip with the Haunted Mansion, as it is my all-time favorite attraction in all of Walt Disney World. I could ride this all day long and be absolutely happy. It is amazing and so much fun. Sean actually likes this one as well. We weren't sure if he was going to be terrified or digging it, and he seems to like it, although he's still a little leery when getting on, but afterwards he seems to be pretty pumped that he just went through this ride, so that's great. So that was just about it, but at this point I was getting pretty hungry, so I had to feed my appetite with a bit of Casey's Corner. I had yet to eat here this entire vacation, and I had to get myself a nice juicy wiener. Alright guys, it is midnight and the park is closing, and sadly so is our last day here in Walt Disney World, but I can't be too depressed because we will be back in September. But of course, as always, I have a lot of editing to do and I have to pack up, so it's back to the resort for me. So as always, guys, hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button as well if you want to see a brand new video from me every single day. And also look down below for links to Patreon, links to Spreadshirt, links to the Cinema Sickness Media Store and the Cinema Sickness Toy Store. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on my way home. Bye.
To tell us about the old days when you didn't even have a car phone.
Hey Trish, for a while we didn't even have a house phone, not to mention laser discs and high-def TV. Everything is automated today, including that.